you live in a trailer, but you're voting Republican.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Wow.
'Cause y'all got But now we got a bitch like Hillary running, who I'm sorry should never be our first female president.
What up, y'all? We back. It's Three's Company Radio on threescompanyradio.com eventually. The Stage the Show Network. Of course, it's Rob Lee, Cubana Kiss.
Mwah.
We here. And, we're going to jump right into it. It's been a lot going on in the past couple of weeks. I know y'all missed this, but we back. Let's get right to it.
It's too much.
The police killing us again.
It didn't stop, first of all.
We got Alton Sterling. He was laying on the ground with his, he was on the ground, had two police on top of him.
They killed
Shot
him.
him at point blank range.
What they say was a gun, which they still never recovered.
I mean, even if
weapon.
it was a gun, it's legal to conceal and carry down there.
Yeah, that's true. Phil, I can't say his name.
The gentleman
in Minnesota,
yeah.
which is also concealed to carry, who told the officer, I am a concealed to carry individual. I'm reaching for my wallet.
That's what trips me out. Like, if it's legal to conceal and carry, and he tells you that he's legally concealing and carrying, why are you shooting him?
Why are you shooting him? And furthermore, if you felt like he was that much of a threat, why didn't you make him get out the car? You killed that man in front of his daughter. His daughter was in the back seat. And when you hear the video, if you listen to it all the way through, I cried. Because she's like, it's okay, mommy. I'm right here with you. She knew her daddy she knew he was gone.
I mean, yeah.
Like,
Everybody knew he was gone. Like, did you hear dude's voice? I told him to stop. I told him not to do it. Fuck. It was like, yeah, he knew he done messed up.
But the fact that we're at the fact that we're at this day and age where going on Facebook Live is what's gonna save her life. Because had she not done that,
she probably would have got shot too.
Yes.
Because
And
you
then
still
we
had
would've
the
been
gun on her,
relying
talking
on
about
that.
keep your hands up.
Get out the car. Why is she getting out?
That was my biggest thing with that whole joint. Why did you make her get out the car, handcuff her, and treat her like she did something?
Didn't do anything. They say she was obstructing
Justice
or something. They tried to.
But it wasn't justice, though.
Didn't tell her where her fiance was. Just got her in a cell. In holding, actually. She's in holding. They
took her phone,
there.
they took the car,
Took
they
evidence.
took the groceries, they took everything.
What saved her was that Facebook Live video. Had she not gone Facebook Live, it would have been crazy. The thing with Alton Sterling,
He was selling CDs, fam.
selling CDs, and then had just came out of the store from talking to the owner.
And he had permission to do it in front of the store.
Talking to the owner. Like, I want to know, because in several different instances, just this week alone, the gentleman whose name escapes me, but he's a behavioral therapist for an autism man, and he got shot. The only difference is he lived.
Right. But
That's
see,
the
that's what I'm
only
saying.
difference.
This guy was laying on, I saw that video.
Yes.
This guy was laying in the middle of the street, hands in the air, screaming to them, and you can make it out. Hey, I'm a behavioral therapist. I work at a group home. This guy right here has autism.
And it's not
and there's
a gun.
a toy truck in his hand. It's not a gun.
It's not a gun. You can hear him saying, it's not a gun. It's not a gun. It's a toy truck.
And you also hear him stating to the young guy, like, man, chill out, calm down, don't make any sudden movements, don't do this, don't do that.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And you shot him.
See, and I say this to say, the police ended up there because some idiot called and said there's somebody out here with a
Mysterious
gun.
call.
The same thing with Tamir Rice.
Right.
The same thing with Alton Sterling. He went from selling CDs to now he has a gun which was never found, regardless if it was concealed to carry or not. A gun which was never found, which means he didn't have it.
Well, they did say they found one on him, little 22 or 25 or something like that. But even still, it was
That
in his
wasn't what he
pocket.
pulled
It
out his
wasn't
pocket.
Drawn. Either way it goes, it was never drawn and pointed at the police. And in his case, they were literally on top. That video is crazy because they were literally on top of him, point blank range with guns to his chest, and then you shoot him.
It makes me. I am a single black mother. My son's father is around, so I don't want to hear all that, other stuff. My son's father is very active in his son's life. Thank God I didn't get one of those men. But I'm a single black mother over a black young male. He's 6 years old. And so when I'm watching these stories,
How do you explain it?
I can't. And this is why I can't. Because my son thinks when he sees a police officer, he says, I'm your biggest fan. Thank you for protecting us. And then those officers, and you can tell the good ones from these dirty cops, because the good ones say, wait right here. And they go and they get their sticker badges from the car and they give them to my son and say, now you one of us. They do stuff like that to let him know, like, look, all of us not bad. Even though in their head, they know subconsciously they're trying to show him, like, everybody's not.
But see, I have a problem with that logic, because to me, this is just my opinion, but to me, if you are part of the Fraternal Order of Police and you know that your friends and brethren are out there doing dirt, you just as guilty as they are if you don't do anything or say anything about it.
This is true. However, I don't know their background. Walking up to a random cop, I don't know their background.
That's why I don't trust any of them.
I mean, but you're not 6. You see what I'm
But
saying?
see, my 5-year-old son, my son is the stark contrast from that. Because when my son gets in the car with me, hey, Dad, they killed another black man. Who did it, son? The police officers. And when he sees them now, he's like, uneasy, like, Daddy, what's about to happen? Or let's get away from them. That's his biggest thing. Let's get away from them, Pop.
Right. I mean, I guess, like you said, first of all, our kids are completely different in everything that they do. But on top of that, like, my uncle, my mom's brother, is a cop. So, in my son's head, he knows. Right. He's like,
he affiliates that with his
uncle ain't no bad cop. My uncle a good cop. I don't know what you're talking about. He gets it. He understands that there's a difference. He understands that there's a bad cops and there's good cops. But I can't explain to him bad cops.
But see, is there truly a difference if there is indifference?
I mean, there's good black people and bad black people.
Yeah.
All black people.
But they shoot all black people.
All black people not bad.
Right, but all black people are not good either.
That's my philosophy
but
of
if
things.
it's 50 black people on the corner and one black person kills whoever, and they have a chance to stop it or intervene or quell the situation in any way, are they any less guilty than the person that committed the crime?
Yes, because they didn't do it.
But they watched it.
They didn't.
They let it happen.
They didn't do it.
They let it happen.
I beg to. I think me and you here will have to agree to disagree on that logic, because I just feel like I'm one of those people that's like, for example, what was it? The 5 cops that got killed. Mm-hmm. All cops not bad.
Which we'll talk about next segment.
All cops aren't bad, and I don't think that's the answer. I understand some people's philosophy on it, like they killing us. We should, but okay, an eye for an eye if that's what you want to do. I don't necessarily as a person agree on those things. I feel like there's other ways to get their attention. There's things that we're not doing in our own community. And I'm not talking about black on black crime or none of that other extra bullshit that people keep bringing up. I'm talking about like real life shit that we could be doing. We could be homeschooling our own kids and teaching them what we want to teach. We can be circulating the black dollar. We can be starting black businesses. We can be employing our own black people. Those are the things when I say there are other things that we could be doing. Killing a cop. What the hell did we just get out of that? Because it didn't help the black community not one bit.
Just as in business is warfare. Like, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with people who might not know how to circulate the black dollar or even care to circulate the black dollar because they haven't been raised to care about it. Like, the younger generation knows nothing about Black Wall Street or anything like that, or circulating the black dollar or shopping black. All they care about is robbing jeans and J's and Future. So, you dealing with a primal reaction. If you kill somebody, if you consistently, and especially over the past couple of years, like as far as it being out in the forefront, you consistently killing people that look like me, you're gonna make a certain demographic of people mad. And if they already all they know how to do is settle their problems through violence, what do you expect?
I mean, I don't expect y'all to go out there and be sniping.
Well, and that's the funny thing about it.
I think that
the snipers are like military people.
Well, let's get this real straight here, okay? Because I am a conspiracy,
and I think it was planted
theory.
Staged.
Okay, because it was very.
It was real convenient.
It was very convenient that those 5 officers were shot. It was very convenient that a black man was walking down the street with a rifle and y'all put his picture
Plastered him all over CNN.
CNN. It was very convenient that those things happened. It was very convenient. Nobody got hit.
It was also very convenient that you blew up the gunman.
Yeah, with a robot.
Right. You blew him up with a robot because a dead hostage tells no tales. So now we can't really find out who he is, where he, you know what I'm saying, the real logistics of why he did what he did, what his mental state was.
Picture of this man in this dashiki foreign outfit who looks like another man that's on Facebook that ain't had nothing to do.
So let me ask you a question. In dealing with white media or the powers that be, when you plaster a black face all over the news after 5 upstanding police officers, not saying, you know, I condone killing police or anything like that, you know, in that respect, you're not supposed to kill anybody. But when you plaster the dashiki wearing black guy all over the news, aren't you setting a precedent and projecting a certain type of thought towards black people?
But that thought, okay, so let's start here. Let's go back a little bit. We're going to get out of 20. What year we in? 2016. We're getting back out of 2016. Let's go back a little bit further. We were always plastered in that light.
Right.
But I feel like I just posted this. Follow me on social media because I'm like the Black Lives Matter queen when it comes to these posts and like real life shit.
You talking about how they justified killing black people?
Not only have they justified killing us, they justified slavery.
Yeah,
they justified civil rights. Now they're justifying us in a different way. There's always going to be some way for them to justify, regardless of what we do.
Wrongdoing towards black people.
However, what I'm getting at is that as black people, as parents, because we're parents,
right,
we both teach our children one thing that we do teach our children that's the same is to be proud that you're black.
True.
And to support black. Period. What it is. So my son understands that, you know, mommy doesn't shop at this place because it's not black owned. He understands that mommy buys things offline and it takes forever to get here because I shop black owned boutiques. He understands that on Thanksgiving, on Black Friday, my mama didn't go shopping because she was protesting Black Lives Matter. Unless I'm shopping black, I'm not shopping.
Buying.
I am that person. I am that person that I feel like the black dollar should circulate.
Me as well.
So I say that to say, like, it don't matter what image. I could do something wrong right now, get arrested. They gonna find the worst post.
If you have a mugshot, that's what will be posted.
There's stuff they gonna post. They're not gonna post the fact that I am a legit single mother. I go to work every day. I graduated from Columbia and didn't decide to drop out just because I got pregnant. They're not gonna say those things. But what it's gonna be is this woman was resisting arrest and she shouldn't have been doing this. And she was a part of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right.
And all of that stuff
Fucking
is gonna
terrorist.
get posted. Right, I'm gonna be a terrorist. I might as well be part of ISIS. Like it's just gonna be all those things that are gonna get posted about me. Now, if I was white, be a little different.
Right.
I'd be a single mother whose father wasn't around and I was misguided.
And you were acting as a lone wolf.
Those are the type of things. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. That's the media. But, you know, that's how they did that's how they did the Jews during the Holocaust. They got smart. Now they control everything.
Right.
And so we need to get smart and start controlling our own shit. We got TV One, but how many people actually sit there and support it?
That was my point
We
a
got
couple of
Century.
shows ago. Like, we have black-owned networks, but do you watch them?
If I had cable, I would.
I mean, even still, there are black-owned networks on regular digital.
I support black. Listen,
I get what you're saying.
because I watch Netflix, and Netflix is not black owned. However, they got some of the most black owned movies on Netflix I've ever seen, from documentaries to regular just that what we consider a low budget movie, but the movies be good.
True. Now, with the police thing, do you know? Police officers have been getting shot all over the country. Somebody just got shot in Chicago. Yesterday? One of the police officers got shot over there on the lakefront in the leg from some mysterious call about a man acting erratically, and then they rolled up on the man and he was on the phone, and they told him to get off the phone. But if you go up on somebody in public while they're on, like, what probable cause do you have at that point?
None. Absolutely none. Absolutely none.
So my question is, even with it being wrong to kill police, it's still wrong for police to aggressively police people
And you know,
without actual cause, and that's usually what happens.
that I don't have any rebuttal.
Like you aggressively, at the end of the day, we're still human beings, and like the man was like, "I'm a man before I'm anything. You're gonna treat me with some type of respect." So when they constantly come up on you and berate you, belittle you, and try to treat you as if this is the plantation and they the overseer, you're gonna meet some resistance at some point.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying not to listen. Okay, let me get. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be fighting back. I'm not saying that we shouldn't resist the authority in which they think they have the right to assert. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, I don't think I'm that person that don't feel like I am not an eye for an eye person. If you rob me, don't mean I'm gonna come rob you. That just mean I don't fuck with you no more.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so if you're that upset with the police, and which I can't be that upset, and this is why I personally can't be upset, because I've run into some awesome, fucking amazing cops. I've run into some awesome black people who I just feel like are just like underrated and people need to know about them.
Right.
But I've run into some fucking dumb pricks, and I run into some black people who I roll my window up when I see they stupid asses coming. So it's like, for me, I am not that person that's gonna sit here and tell you, okay, they killing us, y'all, so let's go kill them. I don't have the what is the black? Not even Black Panther, like them.
No, because that was not the Black Panthers.
Whoever that was that had that mentality, like I don't have that. Me personally,
Well, I
don't
mean,
have that
Malcolm
mentality.
X said an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But my thing is, I feel like the struggle somewhat between the police and black people and white supremacy, so to speak, is being compartmentalized because it's 2016.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, this has been happening for hundreds of years. This isn't new. It's just being seen more with the advent of social media.
And you know, my grandfather, I will not say his age because he'd kill me. But, you know, he grew up in Mississippi. So when we talk, me and my grandfather had these same talks. Anybody who know me know I am not a daddy's girl, but I'm a granddaddy's girl. That's my pops. And when we talk and we had these conversations, he tell me all the time. He said the only thing different is social media. He say I walked past people hanging from trees. I walked past these things.
And they found somebody hanging from a tree in Atlanta, not a tree, but the bleachers or whatever in Atlanta last week.
So it's like stuff like that is going. And he made it very clear. He was like, y'all are upset because now y'all have to see. It's more visual now than it once was. Maybe 5 years ago, we didn't see it like this.
No,
but now we live in a cell phone, video taking, Snapchat, everything society now. That's where we are. We had that generation amongst us.
The first advent of using video to catch police was Oscar Grant.
Yes.
From Bell Station.
Yes.
He was smart. You know, people were smart enough, like, okay, well, you know, social media ain't popping like that, but I can take this video and post it somewhere and show somebody. Now, my thing is,
which to this day I cannot watch that movie without crying.
No, because he was just a regular dude. He was trying to kick it.
Fucked all that.
Right.
Handcuffed, face down. That's the problem. And we're constantly running into. Y'all got these pussy ass cops, and I'm gonna call them pussy ass cops because those are the ones that's making these fucking decisions. Because
the ones that had no friends in school.
Had no friends in school. It was like, I'm gonna be a cop so I could tell these bastards what the fuck to do.
They're power tripping.
Right. Those are the people who when you be like, you ain't everybody boss, and they want to give everybody a job. Those are the people that scare me as cops, and Oscar Grant is the reason why. Because, like I said earlier, we're raising young black men. Our kids are 5 and 6 years old, and eventually they're going to be 16 and 15, and eventually they're going to be 25 and 26, and I'll be damned if my son gets pulled over because his plates are expired or some shit, and he dies because you felt like he was a threat because he reached for his license and registration.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. They're cowards.
Pussy ass.
That's
cops.
what it boils down to. Going back to even Michael Brown.
Yeah.
He was scared because Mike Brown was just a big black dude, and he felt like this dude can kick my ass.
He probably could. Take all that shit off and get in the ring.
Right, but they're not gonna do that. Like, they're
Just
not gonna do
saying, you're scared for a reason. You should be, cause you know all the dirt. What goes around
Right.
comes around. Let's take it back a little bit to Trayvon Martin.
that.
His dude ain't been out the news. How
George
many?
Zimmerman.
He got at least 15 mug shots since
True.
he gunned down.
And he tried to sell the gun he shot Trayvon with. That's what I'm saying. Like, how many times are we going to see people of some type of authority or people who feel entitled enough to act on their own kill black people and get away with it? That's the problem people are having. And that's why,
what I wish would
people are
happen
ready to
was-
fight back.
Back in the late 60s, early 70s, when they had black cops policing black communities.
Mm-hmm.
And they would take your ass back home to your mama when you was fucking shit up.
Right.
And be like, look, I caught Rob over here trying to steal his bag of chips. And I brought him instead of taking him in or doing it. We don't have that anymore. We don't have those cops in the communities that know your name.
Hell no.
We don't have that. It's like now CPD is the biggest gang in Chicago.
CPD been the biggest gang in Chicago.
like,
Let's be real.
We can take, we know
Be
that.
real. This goes back to Al Capone. Let's be
But what
real.
I'm saying is like, we don't have that. And we don't have the village raising
You're
the
never
village
gonna
no
have
more.
that because they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid
I'ma
of the
tell you
communities that they police, and that's the thing. Like, this was a problem long before now, and that's why these supposed gangs that they have wars on now were created. Like the Vice Lords,
And
the
y'all put the-
Blackstone,
and y'all put the leaders
Black
of the gangs
Panthers.
behind it.
Right. These gangs were created because police were going around killing black people, whooping black people, hanging black people, and doing whatever they wanted to do in our communities with no reproach. So we started feeling like, okay, it's time to police our own communities. But the problem is now that 40, 50 years have passed, they've morphed these organizations into something bad for our communities, and they help feed it.
Yeah.
They put crack into the neighborhood. They bring the guns. We don't own no boats, no planes, no poppy fields, none of that. So where is it coming from?
Columbia.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but who's letting it in? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, we need
mean,
to
just
stop
like-
ignoring the fact
it,
that
2
these
years ago?
things are being facilitated by white supremacists, white supremacy, the feeling of white entitlement. Not saying all white people are bad, because we're going to have a guest on the show that is a white person that loves black people. And she
we
went to
actually-
Alton
I
Sterling's
think we
funeral
love
and did
her.
the whole thing.
Because
But-
she was like, she had legit shit to say. We posted the video.
Yeah.
We posted a snippet of
And we
the
got
video.
that story first.
Yes, CNN.
Right.
We posted a video snippet on our Facebook page, Three's Company Radio.
Right.
If you go to the Facebook page, you'll see a snippet of her just saying like she doesn't know what else to do but to apologize
Right.
to Black America. And then I got white friends who I went to high school with who I had to unfollow because I was about to come knock on your goddamn door.
Hey, it's like Huey P. Newton said, the lines of demarcation are being drawn. Period, point blank. You either on this side or you on that side. And I have white friends as well that do not understand why we feel this way, especially people I went to school with in Texas or played football with in Texas. Like, there was always a divide there as far as our lifestyles, but now, they're gung-ho good old boys.
Yeah.
They fly that Confederate flag, and I'm, 10-point program Black Panther Party type guy. So now we at odds because they don't believe that my gripe is a good gripe, and I believe that they full of shit because this has been going on to me and my people since I've been born and hundreds of years before that.
Yeah. I mean, my grandparents, my grandmother especially, she tell me all the time, oh, you would have died back in my day, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You too vocal.
Yeah.
You should just learn just to, you have to learn to deal with things.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I feel like
which
that
mentality is better?
That was passed down.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's when you said there, when we were talking about the communities and how the village used to raise the kid, I feel like it was passed down to be quiet.
Right. Go along to
Stop
get along,
talking.
like our wonderful ministers.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, it doesn't matter. Their authority. I don't teach my son that.
Right.
I teach my son to challenge authority. That's why his teachers hate him. His teachers be like, he's just so smart, but
You're supposed
he
to
just
ask
wants
questions, man.
But not only is he asking questions, if he know that you're wrong, the teacher told my son 2 + 2 was 4. He said, so is 3 + 1. You can't just tell him that it's one way because he knows there's another way. Because I teach him to know, listen, it's okay to challenge authority. He challenges me. He challenges me.
But see, these are all components of systematic oppression. They teach you a certain way to be a certain way for a certain reason. This is all a part of systematic oppression. If you think it's not, you a fool. Like, I don't see how you don't see it. How many examples do you have of these things for you to know that it exists and something needs to happen to change it? And then you have the pessimists who say, well, every time we try, they either kill us or in the case of
Do you
Black
know how
Wall
many
Street,
of
they
your-
kill us and bomb us and do all
Do
this
you
other
know how
stuff.
many of your ancestors died?
Right,
For
you
to
gotta
just be
keep
able-
fighting.
For you to even be able just to say that.
Right.
They died for you to say. They died for you not to exercise your right to vote. Because some of y'all don't do that.
I feel like people get used to living in a little bubble and they're comfortable, and
Until
it's
it
just like
happens.
it's just like black on black crime. You know, nobody cares until it's on your doorstep. That's when it's
But
help
let me
me
tell you
please.
something about this damn black on black crime bullshit. Okay. Because if you go into a community, that crime rate is going to be higher than any other crime. If you go into my community, I live in the Austin community. There's going to be more black on black crime. There's going to be white on white crime because it's more black people.
See,
But
and
if you go into any other community that's full of white people, it's going to be more white on white
that's
crime.
what I was just
there.
about to say.
So it doesn't.
I have
that
a
doesn't
serious
make
problem with
sense.
that. Like, people, you know, act as if white people don't kill each other either. White people kill each other all the time.
Oh, not
they
only do
just
they-
don't call it white on white crime. They just call it crime.
Oh, first of all, not only they kill people, but they do mass motherfucking shootings, and they coming up in these goddamn theaters. You got people scared to even go to see a fucking movie because you don't know what dumb white boy. And I apologize because not all of y'all are doing this shit. But you got all these dumb white people that come in. They want to shoot up the gay club. They want to shoot up the movie theater. They want to shoot up fucking army bases. Okay, so you got shit that's going on. Don't talk to me about white violence against black violence because that's not the problem.
What's wrong with just knowing that it's crazy people in the world and
Thank
sometimes shit happens? Why do we have to classify problems as black on black crime, white on white crime? Because at the end of the day, if we going off of that and we classifying it as color crime, well, the ratio of white people killing black people vastly outweighs the ratio of black people killing white people ever.
Yeah.
So where does that argument really leave us?
We don't have. There is no argument.
Like, I just don't understand the logic of some people. Like, sometimes I feel like people are so scared of confrontation that they are willing to accept anything as long as it doesn't happen to them.
You know what? I was just recently, because you know I'm a dork, right? I'm a nerd. And so, like, I watch documentaries.
Me
I
too.
watch documentaries.
Don't feel bad.
So I watched
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. So I watched this documentary about Emmett Till, obviously. That's a hard one to watch. However, his mother said something and that hit home, I feel like, for a lot of people right now. And it was like, I would watch those people down south marching, and I was thinking, that don't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
I'm living in the Midwest.
Right. I'm
Until-
straight.
Till she sent her baby down there. And then she had to bury her baby because he supposedly
Whistled at a
whistled at a white woman. And I'm like, damn, a lot of y'all have that mentality. Like, oh, Alton Sterling, that ain't happened to me. You know how hard it was for me to watch his wife give have that news conference and her 15-year-old baby crying for his dad.
How many times do we have to see that, though? See, and on one side of it, I'm like, okay, we don't need all outright anarchy. But something has to happen because at the end of the day, no justice is coming from the Department of Justice, the governor, the mayor, the president, anybody. So at what
Or they
point
tryna
is
make you
enough
thinking
enough?
it's coming. Because if you know anything about the law and about the system, when they have these pre-trialed,
Oh, the grand jury.
Grand jury.
Yeah.
when they go in there, it's up to it's up to them to make this grand jury indict. So they know that they can swing it either way. Because it's not to prove them innocent or guilty. It's to indict them.
So my thing is, what district attorney is going to prosecute a police officer that they've had a relationship with for years? These people, like, I've been to court a few times in my life,
You know, but
and
ain't
you
nobody
see
judging
these
you.
people outside. I mean, they can judge or whatever. I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm unapologetically me and black me at that. But you see these people sitting in the break room together. You see these people walking in, laughing and joking with each other, and you hear some of the little slick ass conversations they have with each other regarding certain people or a certain case. And it's like, you can't expect somebody playing on the same team to do away with their team member for what would be considered the opposition. You just can't. You can, the belief that they are one day some eureka moment is gonna happen, and they're gonna say, "Man, this is all wrong," and they're just gonna stop. It's been hundreds of years. How many more years do you have to have examples of this before you either take action in some shape, form, or fashion? Not saying just outright violence or anything like that, but I'm saying build up our communities, circulate our dollar. Let's create our own economy the same way the Chinese do, the same way the Jews do, the same way the Greeks do, the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like in Chicago alone, Chinatown sustains itself, Greektown sustains itself, but our communities are pretty much infiltrated with every other race, leeching off of our dollars and taking it back to their people. Now, at this point, let's say happenstance, we actually make this happen. We circulate the black dollar and we form the new Black Wall Street times 100, and they pull it again. Then what? Because, you know, like, for those of y'all out there in YouTube land who don't know what happened in Black Wall Street, they killed everybody, they bombed everything, and they made sure there was pretty much not a stitch left of black wealth that, you know what I'm saying, in that community or that town. What happens if they do that again? Because the pessimists always say, well, if we build it again, they ain't going to do nothing but tear it down again. So why is that acceptable?
No, I think that personally, you know, I'm an optimistic person. I think everything is just like can be peaches and cream. But I think that I do believe that we can build Black Wall Street again.
I do as well.
I also think that it's something that we have to pass down to our children to have them, because they're our next generation of people, to be able to do what we maybe didn't get a chance to do. So we have to instill in them what we think that they need to know and what we want them to do. However, when we do those things, if you're in this day and age, they're not going to be bold enough to burn it down. They're not going to be bold enough to blow it up. What they're going to be bold enough to do is deny the loans.
See, if we build it ourselves, you ain't going to need it.
This is where the black-owned credit unions come in, right here on 55th and Garfield. This is where the black-owned banks.
Shout out to Seaway.
This is where those people come in, and then you have to go to those. So I feel like once we get the foot where it's supposed to be, once we can get the pin to drop, I feel like people will understand this ain't that. This is 2016. Yes, they do control a lot, but they can't control what's yours. And there's a lot of black entrepreneurs that I see that's not making it anywhere because they don't have the support of their own goddamn people.
True.
Which is fucked up.
True.
Because a white boy can come in and be like, I'm going to sell you this, baby. It's going
you
to make
will
your
buy
hair.
it and pay more for it.
But if I come in there and be like, well, I use it myself and no thank you. She need to get a job.
Right.
That's what she need to do.
Right.
I got one. It's working for myself.
Right. What's wrong with working for yourself? Stop trying to, work for. Stop building other people's empires, man. Build your own. But that brings me to the closing of this segment. I will say this: Black America. The movement cannot be an event. What we have right now is events. We're going to protest this day, but the problem is events have a start date and an end date. So when you have these events and everybody comes out and goes rah-rah for 20 minutes or 2 hours or 2 days, it still ends. The movement cannot be an event. It has to be a lifestyle, which means on a daily basis, these are the things you perpetuate and these are the things you teach to the people you come in contact with, and especially your seeds. So if you really want to affect change, it's not going to happen instantly. Stop looking for the microwave instant gratification. You're going to have to bake this one the same way they baked this system and this type of society that we live in. Just a little food for thought. Three's Company will be back in a minute.